Not sure if y'all will be able to hear me. I do have the top down, and we're just cruising. Just got off of work. We're currently working the night shift, and right now we're headed to therapy. Therapy has always been something I wasn't a fan of, because as a child I would go to therapy and it didn't feel like a safe place, you know. They want to ask you what's the issues, what's going wrong with life, but they're like, the ones I had seemed like they were just there to really prescribe me medicine. Like, they weren't there to find the root cause. They didn't care if the depression had a solution. And that's kind of how I've always felt about therapy and therapists. But now that I'm 30, I still have this same depression that I had at 7 years old. So you could only read so many books and watch so many YouTubes on the mind and try to understand the reasoning behind the way you feel. And it took me a while to understand that it's okay to like reach out. It's okay to hire a professional to talk through these issues. And I'm sure I should have been in therapy way earlier than 30. But it is what it is, and we're in it now. And I'm very excited. We're very early into it, but I already feel very good about the whole situation. We've already discussed some treatments that align with what I believe, and that is not big pharma. So, you know, I'm not trying to be on lithium, Lexapro, any of those. I spent my whole childhood on medication, and I'd rather learn to deal with it by myself with tools that are given to me that can help me work through issues and problems than have to rely on a pill every day to just mask the issue, you know. But it's new for me. And even talking to you guys, it may get better as I go on throughout therapy, because that's kind of why I started the YouTube channel, was just to give me an outlet to talk. But I realized I really wasn't talking about much, and that was the problem. I wasn't solving any of my internal issues. So now I'm subjecting you all. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 subscribers that may see this, but if you do come across this and you're dealing with depression, seek help, especially as a man. You know, a lot of males think that seeking therapy or finding help for issues such as depression, bipolar, any mental health issues, we all kind of push them to the side, put them in a box, and think, you know, it is what it is. Life's not going to get better. But with that attitude, it will never get better. So find help, whether it be a professional or even find a friend. You know, that's what started for me. I started going to friends. You know, just everybody needs someone to talk to. But guys generally don't want to talk about issues. And they definitely don't want to go tell their best friends, like, hey man, I've got, you know, thoughts about pressing reset. I don't know what all you can say on YouTube. And it's hard to tell your friends that you're thinking that, because I don't think you could tell a best friend that and them not feel some type of helplessness, you know, because everybody always wants to help, and depression's not really something that can be just helped, you know. Sure, you can work through it, talk about it, but ultimately, like, depression is real. Some people deal with a depression that doesn't have anything to do with what's going on with their life. You know, some people just wake up down in the dirt, and that's alright. But what's not alright is keeping it to yourself, not reaching out, not trying to get help, you know. And I mean, you're talking to a man that has done this for 30 years, avoiding help, avoiding, you know, a solution. I've always found, you know, something to just tape over the issue, like whether it be drug use, alcohol. I would say probably alcohol was the biggest, because as a teen, you know, getting drugs was not the normalcy, but you could get alcohol with a fake ID. Granted, I wasn't like most teens. We used the dark web. We would get drugs from the dark web. Granted, I mainly dealt with psychedelics as a teen, and I thought they would help, but I used them as a recreational drug. I didn't go in with a purpose. I dabbled back into it in my 20s, but I would go into these experiences with a purpose, trying to find a solution, and that would help. So it is a tool, but find professional help to learn how to do it, because it took me years to figure out how to unlock that, rather than if I would have went to a professional that already does that, they could have helped me right off the rip, and I wouldn't have had it been just a guessing game, you know? And I wouldn't say you need a heavy dose. Granted, one of my most profound moments of my life was from a ungodly dose of psilocybin mushrooms, where I literally felt like everything I worked for was crumbling down, but it made me realize everything I was working for wasn't mine. Everything that I had was there, was not going nowhere. My foundation was strong, but the effort I was giving wasn't for me, it was for others. So in a sense, it did help me, but it scared me. It made me realize I gave too much of myself, but then I did too much of an extreme, the opposite, and I started giving less of myself to people that didn't deserve less. So I guess what I'm saying is, do it with a professional. They could guide you through it, because I think I killed my ego, which is necessarily not a bad thing. Or no, I don't know if I killed my ego, but I killed the want to, I guess, make everyone in my life happy. I decided I wanted to make myself happy, so I started working out. I started running. I started eating right. Granted, I fall off and I get back on, so that is a consistent battle that I also face. But the main cause is my depression. So we're on that. We're really trying to not heal, because I don't think I'm broken, but I definitely am wired differently. And maybe sometimes those wires just need help getting sorted. I don't think having depression makes you a broken person. I don't think having any mental illness makes you a broken person. But you will break people if you don't try to fix said issues. And that's something I realize I do. I thought I was always a very loving, kind friend. And I realized I'm not. I love hard, yes. And I'm very loyal to my friends, yes. But I don't go out of my way to check on my friends. And I have friends that will go out of their ways to call me, and I don't reciprocate that. I will call someone that doesn't even want to talk to me. I do this with women often. As bad as it sounds, I constantly will always put a woman on a pedestal that has no want to be there, you know? It's not that they don't appreciate it or it's not mutual, but they don't want that type of love from me. And that's great, that's fine. But what's not fine is when people do want that love from you and are 100% capable of getting that love from you, you don't give it to them. And I don't know why I do it. To be honest, I don't have a reason. Commitment issues maybe, but I feel like that's an excuse, you know, because I don't really have commitment issues. I've been committed to some things for damn near 20 years now. I get scared. I think true love scares me, and maybe that's why I don't mind putting, you know, the wrong person on a pedestal, because I know they're not gonna take it. They're not gonna grasp the love I'm giving, so I'm really not losing anything when it falls apart. But what scares me with relationships is loving fully, giving myself to that person 100%, and then it falling apart. That could be, you know, that could stem from childhood trauma. We talked about it with my therapist, and he definitely thinks I did not have the most common childhood, you know, like I didn't grow up with my parents showing up to my school for concerts in the crowd, you know. If I did extracurricular, extracurricular activities after school, that I may be fucking this up, but I'm driving and I'm not gonna beat myself up on it, so we're moving on. They just want to show up. My father didn't come to one rugby game and sit on the sidelines. If he came, he watched it from his truck, behind the goalposts, behind the fence. When he came to my wrestling tournament, for the first time, all he was worried about was leaving early. My mother also fell short, you know. I didn't have the nurturing mom most kids have. Sure, you know, I had a loving mom, but I didn't have a mom that was always present, you know. My parents were divorced, so I couldn't expect her to always be present, but when she was there, she wasn't. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but like my mom was more worried about smoking weed with her friends, taking pills, going on mental vacations, you know. I'm a child. I didn't do that. But my sister did all that. So my mom and my sister were like best friends, and I lived in a house with nobody, essentially. So I grew up not really having someone, so when people give themselves to me, I don't trust it. I really don't trust it. And it's not their fault. It's no one's fault other than mine. It's not my parents' fault. It's no one's fault other than mine, because that is how I choose to treat people. It's not how people have taught me to treat others. And my parents are great now. Me and my dad, could we have a better relationship? Sure. Could we both try more? Sure. But I'm 30. I've tried my whole life to have a relationship with a man, and I never had that, you know. Now that I'm an adult, we have a great relationship, but we don't necessarily have a bond. You know, when we talk, it's general conversation. It's not, and I'm about to miss my fucking turn if this motherfucker would quit. These fucking idiots, dude. Anyways, back to it. And I don't hold that, I lied. I definitely hold it against him. I hold my childhood against both my parents, and that's my problem. That's my issue. I don't think they necessarily went out of their way to do wrong. They just didn't know how to do right. I had young parents. I had divorced parents. Both my parents had some type of addiction. You know, they needed to learn how to deal with their issues before they could learn how to love me, much less deal with my issues. So that is something that, you know, isn't necessarily their fault, but they're not free of that, you know. And I'm not the person to judge. That will be on them later on in life. They can judge themselves, look back on it, maybe. I doubt it. I've had talks with my parents, and I mean, what do you expect someone to say when you tell them they sucked at something? My father actually cried, and I don't know if it was because I was going through some medical issues when we discussed this, and maybe he was worried. I don't know. But it really felt like what I said resonated with him. And what I said to my mom did not. You know, my mom, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not a response. I mean, sure, it's a fucking response. A curse, my bad. But, I want to know why. And I know I would never know why. I will never have a reason to why I had the parents I had. But what I can say now is they're great grandparents. So maybe telling them they sucked as parents made them open their eyes and realize, you know, you need to be more hands-on with a kid. They just decided to do it with their grandkids. Now, my father now has another son, a younger son, and he's in his life. He shows up, he goes to all the little functions, goes to his school, has breakfast with him, and that's great. And I want to feel that. I want to feel that love for both of them. But when he tells me, I only feel like resentment, because my dad has the same exact job that he had when I was a kid. He doesn't work more, he doesn't work less, but he has more time for his son, and that's great, and I love that he's made these changes. But don't expect me to feel the love and gratitude that my brother has this relationship with my father, and my father has this relationship with my brother, and people have changed. Yes, I'm happy my dad changed, but am I thankful for it? Am I grateful for it? No, not really. It sounds selfish, but like, the change did nothing for me. And I don't even know if he really changed. He still drinks every day. The only time he calls me is when he's drunk. And these are things I've told him I don't like. So as I'm talking and trying to make sense, I make myself more mad. And I know that's my issue. I will talk myself into so much hate and rage. And it's valid hate and rage, but you don't need to hate that person. Hate the experience is what I'm trying to say. People make mistakes. We're all human. So yes, 80% of my childhood, I hated. I hated the experience. I didn't hate the people. I love my family. I love my mom. I love my dad. But I hated the experience they gave me. And I really don't know. I don't know where to go with that. Because I yearn to be a father. I yearn to be a husband. Like, these are things that are my life goals. Do I know I will be great? No. Do I think I will be a great father? Yes. Do I think I'll be a great husband? Yes. But I can't be great at anything until I love who I am. And I used to think it was because I was fat. I didn't get fat because of depression. Or actually, I got fat because of depression. I wasn't depressed because I was fat. I still got everything I wanted in life as a fat person. I still got the girl I wanted. I still got the job I wanted. I still had the friends I wanted. I played the sports that I wanted. I was a functional fat person. Being fat did not bother me. But as I got older, the real root causes of my depression hid behind being fat. Because there was a time to where I got bigger, to where it changed me. You know, when I say being fat and getting everything I want, I'm talking about 240 as a high schooler. I thought I was fucking obese. I thought I was the fattest fucking person in the fucking world. And I wasn't. I was large, chubby, but I could still run 3 miles. You know, so like, was I healthy? No, I'm not gonna say being fat was healthy, but it wasn't what was killing me. What was killing me was trying to hide and cover up the real root causes of all my issues, which is my depression. And my depression stems from my childhood. But my childhood is no one's fault, you know? People don't ask to be parents. I don't know. I'm making excuses, probably. And that's alright. Is it? Probably not. But that's okay. That's why we're going to therapy. And that's why I'm talking to you guys. Because it's good to talk it out to someone. It's 79 degrees outside in Houston, Texas. And humid as a motherfucker. I don't know why I decided. I thought driving with my whole fucking top back was gonna be a fucking great idea. And I wanted to do this fucking video. So we're gonna close it now. And we're almost to my therapist's office. I'm 30 minutes early. But I get off at a certain time. And I don't want to go home. Because if I went home, home is not my safe place for me. Home is where I rot. Home is where I hate. Home is where I let all my bad thoughts out. Home is nothing great for me. And that's my fault. Does my childhood probably have a fucking part of that? Sure. But I let my home currently not be my safe place. When you go to your place of residence, you should feel safe. You should feel cozy, warm. I buy these gadgets. I have all this shit, but nothing makes it feel like home. And I think that's why I yearn to be a husband. I yearn to be a father because I want to build a home that I never had. And to me, home is for a family. Sure, I grew up with family members, but I didn't have a family, you know? Me and my siblings weren't super close. Quite frankly, I have a lot of hate in my heart towards some of my siblings. And it's not that I hate them, but I hate what they did to me, or better, didn't help me with, you know, or be there for me, you know. As kids in a divorced household, you think you would stick together, and I didn't have that. Quite frankly, I had a very shit relationship with my sister growing up. As a kid, we weren't friends. You know, I didn't feel like I had a confidant. So when people are like, oh, y'all must be so close, I want to say yeah, but I can't. And are we close now? Yeah. She's my homie. She's there if I call, most days. She does pick up now. But I can't blame her, because maybe the childhood I had, she might have had too. I don't know what issues she was dealing with as a kid. So how can I expect her to be there for my issues? That's something that's hard for me to grasp, because it just is. I don't know. Will I be alright? Sure. I don't see any certain tendencies in my lifestyle anymore. So I think those days are long gone. And I think we'll always have brighter days from here on out.
Cut the music up.
I love to love, and I love to be alive. But maybe I just never figured out how to love, because my biggest issue with myself now is I constantly ruin relationships or connections with people, because I feel a sense that the love isn't real. So I'm like, why should I give this to you, or why should I accept this? that's not right. Because then I'm no better than the people that I gave love to as a child that never reciprocated it back. And I know how that made me feel. So the fact that I do it to people as an adult really does bother me. What the fuck is Lil Wayne talking about? Get the fuck. Life's hard. I guess, long story short, life's hard. You can't blame anyone for their actions. But you can blame yourself for how you react, how you continue to move on, how you live. I hate when my place is a mess, but it's my fault. I get depressed, I get lazy, I get in these funks. I don't do nothing for days, weeks, months. And then it just compiles. Every day, something new adds on. So if every day something new's adding on and you're not working to take something off, what's gonna happen? Your pile's gonna be too high. It's gonna fall over. It's gonna collapse. When it collapses, you have more of a mess than you did when you started. What the fuck is up with Spotify right now and all this fucking sad music? Anyways.
Afro, no shirt, blowing perp, I'm not a star, just a regular old hood nigga. VIP full of hoes, full of rolls, we got guns in this
Coming. I don't own the rights to the song. It's Webby, Triller Than a Bitch. Go listen to it. This is my happy music.
Wanna move wrong. Send your hitman, nigga gon' put that tool on him. Bop, 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 knock all his shoes off. I'm the savage, what sound? Come on, tell me who want it. Cause we can crank it up, cause I don't give a fuck. Where your people at, you better bring all them kicking the booty ass, coochie ass, fake ass ballers. You ain't never pop nothing. Stop starting, bitch. Nigga, you ain't seen nothing until you seen me climbing out a tree with a 223. What? I'm scarred up, ready for wall fuck. I'm right here, pussy nigga, what's up? Get at me, nigga. I done get some fucked up shit, I ain't gon' even lie. But I'm triller than a bitch and you can't even lie. I beat that pussy like no other bitch, don't even lie. I'm a bad motherfucker and you can't even lie. I done did some fucked up shit, I ain't gon' even lie. But I'm triller than a bitch, you can't even lie. I beat that pussy like no other bitch, don't even lie. I'm a bad motherfucker, you can't even lie.
Alright. It's like, man, I know Webby shouldn't just... Being a boy from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, growing up with no family, like I said, surprisingly, the streets were the nicest place for a little bitty white kid. And some of my best friends grew up in the worst neighborhoods. But they were filled with so much love. Even, dad selling drugs out the house. I didn't know what it was as a kid. Looking back, my best friend's dad was a drug dealer. Pretty sure his mom was a stripper. But they treated me with so much love that I don't care what wrong they've done or how they live their life, because they have done so much right in mine. And obviously, I ended up listening to shit like this. So country's not my safe music. It's shit like this. If you listen to my happy playlist, you would think I'm fucking counting bricks of cocaine and fucking just thumbing through $100 bills all fucking day. You would think I live in a fucking trap house. And when I was in high school, sure, I used to idolize these guys. So I moved like that. But I was still smart. I was still an honor student. I knew I had something going for me. At the time, I just didn't know what. You ain't even lying. Put that pussy like no other, bitch, don't even lie. I'm a bad motherfucker, you ain't even lying. But anyways, going to therapy. Peace.